Stead says, with Final Fantasy VII Remake exclusively being further extended, do you think it's time for Microsoft to play, quote, dirty as well? PlayStation have no issue in taking away games from fans. Maybe it's time Microsoft did the same. Yes. 1000% yes. Though, two-folded, right? Number one, I think this is terrible and I don't want it to happen. From a gamer point of view, right? Please.
Very quickly, give me some more context here, because I think I've missed this news story. Have they come out and confirmed this game is going to be exclusive PlayStation for longer?
It was like text in the latest trailer. Is that reintegrated is 6 months longer. I don't know if that means all Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I did miss that. So, okay, sorry. Carry on, Fix.
So for me, it's two-folded, which is number one, from a gamer perspective, I think this is horrible. I think it's disgusting. I hate it. It really annoys the crap out of me. Just let people play the games where they want to play their games. I understand it. Nah. Second side, I understand it from a business, three-sided, I guess. I understand it from a business perspective, from Sony's point of view, which is, as we all know now, they need that damn money badly. They need it. So they need to be doing these deals. They need to be selling this DLC. They need to be making their 30% cut off the top. And it's a very smart business plan. It's very, very smart. Third and final point, which is, yes, unfortunately, Phil, I love you as a person. I think you're a great human being. And unfortunately, good guys finish last. Sometimes you gotta get in the trenches, and you gotta do some stuff that some people don't like. I think I'm a perfect example of that. I think I'm a nice human being as such, sort of. But sometimes you gotta do some stuff that you may not want to do. And I think that's what you have to do with Microsoft right now, which is your opinion, Phil's opinion in this case, Phil's opinion on time exclusives are bad for the industry, blah, blah, blah. All valid. But that doesn't help us as gamers, because we're losing out on experiences because Sony are willing to go and do that. Sony are willing to go and give Square Enix millions upon millions to get Final Fantasy 16 exclusive. What do we get? We got Yakuza for 6 months. Not a year. I don't even think it was 6 months in the end. Like,
like
a few months earlier. It's like, I understand from my point of view, don't want it to happen. But from a Microsoft's point of view to its fan base, I think it owes it to be a little bit dirtier, a little bit grittier, and make some of these deals happen that need to happen, in my opinion.
So, what if the trade-off for these deals happening was you get less games coming to Game Pass?
Sure.
Okay.
But again,
I think
I'm in a privileged position where I get sent codes for almost anything now as my influence has grown. So for me, very easy for me to sit here and go, sure. Like, it doesn't impact me the same way as it impacts the other 20, I think it's 22 million in Game Pass. So let's say 22.115, like, sort of thing, like 500,000 content creators getting codes. I think that's probably even more than, I think it's even less than that, right? Like, it would be, what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't affect me. So I can easily sit here in my noble chair, in my throne, and be like, yes, doesn't bother me, where other people that impacts them immensely. So yeah, I get it. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, for me, there's like 3 points of view. Is one, for this to happen, I would assume that less stuff ends up going to Game Pass. They end up pushing less for Game Pass. Not saying they don't push stuff for Game Pass. It's just that you have to equal it out. You want more games to be coming to Xbox. You want to get those exclusive deals. Maybe you don't push for it to be in Game Pass because that costs even more than that. Number 2, Microsoft has done this in the past. It hasn't done it in the series lifetime, but it did that way back, most notably Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Huge failure with that. So Microsoft probably looks at that and they're like, maybe we don't do that.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Though you are 100% right, we are a different Xbox now.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely 100% agree. But maybe Microsoft is looking at it like, do we risk that? Do we risk going ahead? We have all this great press. People love us. They're like, we're pro-consumer. We go ahead and we're like, okay, we're going to make this timed exclusive. Does Microsoft risk that good share that they've had? And they've had a lot of really good, a good relationship with the consumer as of late.
Matt, let me quickly, what I would say is, the reason this has to happen at some point, or only has to happen at some point, is if Xbox do not produce on the first party front. Which, to this day, through the Xbox One life cycle, to even me sitting here today, we are as dry as a desert. Dry as a desert right now. So, Sony, on the other hand, have had Spider-Man, Last of Us 2, God of War, Horizon. But the list can go on. I'm not sitting here acting like we haven't had any games, but we've had Gears, Sunset, Forza.
You're going a long way back to call out Sunset there, which kind of proves your point, right?
That's what I'm trying to get to. But for me, it's a case of they have to deliver. Fable has to deliver. State of Decay 3 has to deliver. Everwild has to deliver. And I don't think Halo's not going to deliver. I already know it's not going to deliver. Because not from the fact of it's not going to be a great game. It's people's expectations for that game are so out of whack already. I see it all the time. And I'm like, I don't know what you're expecting, but what I'm expecting is what we saw. You know? Like, we've seen what this game is. Like, it's going to look prettier. It's going to be more polished. Yeah. But we've seen what the game is. I don't expect it to be that different from that. So if you're not looking for an open worldish Halo, you're going to be extremely disappointed, I think.
I think the Halo conversation probably won't be all that based around the campaign. It'll be based around the free-to-play multiplayer. And if
I disagree.
Catch the zeitgeist with that, then I think they've won.
Nope.
Halo's constantly had this problem. Like, Halo 5, one of the best FPS multiplayers. Like, hands down, I think not
the
a lot.
The difference is it's free-to-play. That's the difference.
Right, but it's Halo. Halo's always had this like strong fan base around the narrative. The multiplayer's there and people love the multiplayer, but it's also always around the narrative. Halo is its story. Halo is this epic journey. Halo is Master Chief. And for you to say that it's just multiplayer is sort of like separating the two.
I get that's not what he's saying. That's not
what I'm saying is, you know, Fortnite came out and nobody cared, and then there was a free-to-play battle royale that everybody played. Call of Duty, you could argue that the last two Call of Duty campaigns, they've been enjoyed, they've been reviewed well, but people are talking about Warzone still because it's free-to-play. And well, maybe not just because it's free-to-play, but because it's incredibly popular and free-to-play, and the free-to-play helps incredibly. I think if angled correctly, the Halo free-to-play multiplayer could be huge, especially on PC.
Let me interject there. Let me say it like this. Where is Fortnite? What platforms?
All of them.
Where is Call of Duty? What platforms? Just answer my question. Answer my question. No. Don't interject. Just answer my question. Where is Call of Duty?
All of them.
Okay.
Fight me.
Where is Halo going to be?
Xbox PC.
Okay.
And
wait. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. And who has the weaker sales in the console? Xbox. Whose fan base doesn't speak about their first parties as much? Xbox. Who doesn't push their games as well as their competitors on the first party front? Xbox. You're comparing apples to oranges here, which is Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Fortnite has dances and a beautiful art style which plays extremely well to children, and they got every content creator in the world to buy into it. Halo, to me, I don't play Halo. I play shooters all day long. I do not play Halo because I just don't view it as like this. It's the ecosystem even around Halo. Very similar to Gears. Very, very similar to Gears, which is, in my head, is for hardcore players. And if you are not in that top 1% of hardcore players, you're not even playing. The skill level between Halo and Fortnite is apples to oranges. You jump on Fortnite with your friends to just have a good time and play. And the same thing, what you're comparing, last point, then we can move on, which is you are comparing a battle royale to a multiplayer. Two big differences.
Yeah, you're right. It's a huge difference.
Lawyered.
I think that if you look at the top 15, 20, 100 biggest streamers right now, I bet you 99.5% of them are playing on PC.
Yes,
and will play
Yes.
Halo on launch.
that's.
But
I agree. But
how
Crash,
many
go
of
on.
them play after launch? How many of them keep playing?
Well, that's the
because
question.
that's what's
right?
incredibly relevant. Yeah,
Once
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
Not
sponsor,
gonna be-
once that sponsor check has disappeared,
honestly, I think it has to come out with
Alright.
a VR. I
Has
think
to.
a lot
Yeah.
of it's
Agreed.
shown that like if people are going to stick with it, it has to be a VR. I
agree.
don't really think a VR is going to come. And I do think Halo does have a wild card, and that is the Forge mode. Where
Don't
I
people
agree.
go in, they make their own modes, they make their own maps.
Somebody will make
And I
their own
think
VR.
that
It won't
is
take long.
that is really the wild card. But the chances of that playing out the way that it would be to make Halo the most popular game in the market right now is almost impossible, I think.
I 1000% agree.
And
Well, sorry, go on, Crash.
mind you, I'm saying that as somebody who's actually, I'm legitimately looking forward to Halo Infinite. I'm excited for Halo Infinite.
So am I. Like, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to playing it as well. But we cannot sit here. I love people are going to come for me. I know they are, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But we are not about to compare Call of Duty, Fortnite to Halo. We can't, because Halo hasn't got that mindshare anymore. It hasn't. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
I'm sorry. I
think
don't
it
mean to
could.
beat you all
I
up.
think it
I'm sorry.
could. In a
I
best case scenario world, it can. In a year's time, we could be talking about it in the same way we're talking about Warzone. I think. Maybe.
I
don't
think
know.
I agree with you. I think there is a possibility.
Nope.
I just think that possibility is so slim.
I want to very quickly circle back to the original question because we got
No,
pretty
we
sidetracked.
can't. We haven't got time. We're already going
come on.
extremely long. No, go
Fine.
on, quick. We're not even gonna get through the news this week. I guarantee it.
I was going to say, right? You said you said that good guys finish last.
Yes.
and the Xbox are playing the good guy thing. I think tactically, when you're in a situation like Xbox are, let's face it, they're in second place, right, to PlayStation.
I think they're in
I
third.
think you need. Really? Okay.
From a
Let's say they're in third place.
I think quickly. I think from a point of view of console sales to fans' market share, from third-party support, I think they're in third place compared. It goes PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox. Just because Game Pass is popular and just because the console is selling that, I still think they're in third place in that regard, in my opinion.
Fair enough. My point is, if you're in first place, you're playing a very different game to the people playing in second and third,
True.
right? And you tactically you need to play that game differently. I think Xbox are playing third or second place very, very well.
Yeah.
Just from a personal point of view, you know, me and my core group of mates who last generation were playing on PS4 have moved to Xbox this generation and are thrilled with Game Pass and are playing Outriders and are really enjoying ourselves. I think those conversations are going to start to happen more. And so there's an interesting thing, right, where you say, do they start playing dirty? Do they start taking more exclusives? It'll be fascinating to see what happens this summer with E3 and Bethesda and what announcements get made and where they're going to go, yada, yada. I think with MLB, I think is a great example, right? If you bought MLB on PlayStation for 70 quid, you've kind of got to be second guessing that decision, haven't you? And saying, well,
Yeah.
if I'd gone Xbox, I could have had it on Game Pass as well as Outriders and all these other incredible games. Am I making the right decision here? And I think so by not taking exclusivity, by giving Elder Scrolls 6 to PlayStation and saying, yeah, you can pay for it 70 quid over there if you want, but it's better on Xbox.
And we'll take our
because Xbox is
70%
the
cut.
best place to play. Yeah, exactly. And it's basically just an advert for Game Pass because your mates who are playing on Xbox maybe did get in a little bit early. Maybe it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months exclusivity.
I don't think.
And then all of a sudden you're paying 70 quid for a game that people have been playing on a Game Pass service for £1 a month or whatever it is. I think it's actually kind of a good advert if you don't necessarily go full exclusivity. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this summer, basically, because I think that will be the stepping stone to see what Xbox's approach is with these kind of things.
Fair enough.